A YouTuber by the name of MMW Neighbor is facing a significant issue right next door. An exceptionally large pit bull in the neighboring area has continually thrown itself against the fence, resulting in visible cracks and significant weakening in the structure. What's astonishing is that the dog exhibits this behavior without any apparent provocation. The mere act of the YouTuber stepping outside triggers these actions.
Nothing. Not even antagonizing this dog.
Hopefully, the aggressive dog won't succeed in breaching the fence, as there are doubts about whether the YouTuber's camera would be able to provide protection in such a situation. Posted on the Chills Narrator subreddit by the user Horrifyingly Haunted 3, this Redditor shared their experience of an unusual sighting under a car. Now, let's take a look at their submission to get a better understanding of the situation. The video sparked some lively discussions in the comments section, with some viewers initially struggling to discern the object. However, once they did, some speculated that it might be a cat due to the object's swift movements. This is a plausible explanation, but on the other hand, could there be a more suspicious element at play, such as someone tampering with the car? Which viewpoints do you lean towards? Share your thoughts in the comments. This video was recorded during the early hours of a December morning in Canada, and it showcases a perplexing sound reverberating throughout the forest. The origins of this noise remains uncertain. Even experienced hunters claim they've never encountered anything quite like it.
What that is? Scary shit. What is that?
A comment speculates that the source of the noise might be a distressed wolf, possibly isolated or abandoned by its pack. Another suggestion is that it could be another animal, like an elk or maybe even a bull moose. However, none of these hypotheses have been verified. In the United Kingdom, there is an inn that is rumored to be haunted. Guests who stayed there, especially those who are observed on camera, often experience unexplained and eerie occurrences. The YouTube channel Spooky to Ya Podcast has had a conversation with the staff at the haunted hotel. They have shared a few of the unsettling images that are particularly haunting. These include a possessed doll falling from its chair inside a pentagram, a mysterious shadowy figure that materializes and then gradually disappears, and a ghostly apparition drifting past outside a window. These are just a few examples of the astonishing phenomena captured by the crew on camera. For me, this is reason enough to tune in and discover what other supernatural events are haunting this hotel. This TikTok video, reminiscent of a scene from the horror film Candyman, unveils a woman's unsettling discovery of a secret door within her apartment. This 4-part series documents Samantha Hartstone's chilling experience. Initially, the TikTok user noticed a cold breeze emanating from a small space in her apartment.
I feel cold air blowing on me.
While no air was coming from the vent, she detected a faint flow of air originating from a light switch. However, this couldn't account for the intensity of the draft, prompting her to continue her investigation. She soon realized that the air was actually coming from behind her mirror. In a subsequent video, she discloses the presence of a hole behind the mirror leading to a second apartment containing trash bags and several rooms. It evoked scenes reminiscent of the 1992 film Candyman, where summoning a hook-handed spirit involved repeating its name 5 times in front of a mirror and a concealed hole behind the mirror. Though Hartstone decided to explore the passage, many users expressed their disagreement. as it mirrored the ill-fated choices often made by horror movie characters.
I have to go in and figure out what is on the other side.
Despite some apprehension, her final video showed her returning the mirror to its place and signing off.
My landlord's getting a really fun phone call tomorrow.
When Ariana Grande hosted a concert at the Manchester Arena on May 22, 2017, many people purchased tickets for the event. This arena, one of the largest in the world with a capacity of 21,000, was bustling with attendees by 6 p.m. The venue was filled with those eager to hear Ariana, being captivated by her angelic voice, and she certainly delivered, concluding the concert around 10 p.m. However, shortly after the concert concluded, as people were exiting the arena, a nail bomb detonated, resulting in the chaotic scene captured in the now infamous video. The footage depicts a large crowd inside the arena at the moment of the bomb blast, intensifying the frenzied rush to leave as people reacted to the explosion. Sirens can be heard as first responders raced to the scene, while panicked individuals continued to hurry towards the exits. People were in a state of distress, with cries and expressions of fear and concern prevalent. The video also shows medics evacuating one of the injured from the arena, and unfortunately, there were more such incidents, with over 1,000 people sustaining injuries in the blast. This video is profoundly disconcerting. Watch as the skier takes a tragic fall off the edge of a cliff when the snow beneath suddenly collapses. Initially, the skier's fate was cloaked in uncertainty, but subsequent reports indicate that, by some extraordinary stroke of luck, he survived. Such instances serve as a stark reminder of the capricious and unpredictable character of these sports. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever ventured into skiing? Have you ever come across something that left you perplexed? TikToker Dawn Taylor experienced just that during a walk in a remote forest.
I have no idea what it is.
Jean and her canine companion stumbled upon what appeared to be an old coffin, weathered and covered in decades of moss and debris, as though it had been recently unearthed. As they continued their walk, it became evident that the dog was quite intrigued by this discovery, even though Jean suspected a connection to the nearby water source.
I think it's just something to do with the water system.
Commenters on the video suggested that the mysterious object was likely a coffin or burial vault, an enclosed outer container designed to protect a casket from the pressure of the earth and prevent water infiltration while aiding in maintaining the ground's stability. The question remained, however, why such an item was situated in the heart of the woods, a sight none of us would expect during a leisurely midday stroll.
We'll have to ask the internet.
In this video, two African-American individuals are seen handcuffed, detained, and escorted out of a Starbucks. The video was deeply unsettling because the men, who were interviewed later, had initially gathered at the Starbucks for a business meeting over coffee.
What did they get called for? Because there were two black guys sitting here meeting?
When the police arrived, the two men were taken aback to discover that they were the ones being apprehended. Their actions had been limited to ordering coffee and sitting down at the establishment. The arrest was prompted by a fellow customer who felt uncomfortable with one of the black men being present in the Starbucks and subsequently called the police.
Hi, I have two gentlemen at my cafe that are refusing to make a purchase or leave. I'm at the Starbucks at 18th and Spruce. All right, please, I'll be out as soon as possible.
It's disheartening that despite clear evidence that they had not engaged in any behavior deserving an arrest, the men were still taken into custody. Others at Ted Stevens International Airport were in the midst of preparing for their flights when a sudden ground tremor jolted the terminal, causing the lights to flicker and panic for everyone in the vicinity, except for one individual. Approximately 10 seconds. The adrenaline surge experienced by all became palpable once the shaking ceased, prompted that all flights to and from Ted Stevens Airport were promptly suspended. Fortunately, a few hours following the earthquake, the airport was able to resume operations. Our cameraman successfully returned home, armed with an extraordinary story to recount. The thief cautiously enters the subway, which is clearly closed, displaying uncertainty in their actions. They constantly glance over their shoulder as they wear a helmet and attempt to access the cash register. At most, the take appears to be around $200 to $300, a modest reward for this petty criminal. They employ a screwdriver to forcibly pry open the register, causing damage to its mechanisms while remaining apprehensive about potential surveillance. As the minutes pass, their movement becomes increasingly frantic, struggling to unlock the drawer with great effort. Notably, this incident occurred around 4 a.m., making even the slightest noise sound exceptionally loud. After several minutes of effort, they opt to remove the entire cash register to gain better leverage for opening the drawer. Time is of the essence, and every passing second is critical. Eventually, the thief absconds with the entire register, disconnecting it from the machinery and making their exit. One can only imagine the challenges the opening shift will face after this incident. At that point, it seems the shift may not even take place, as a business without a cash register is virtually non-operational. This video begins with what appears to be an ordinary day in Russia. A curious bear makes its way over and starts inspecting the parked cars. Initially, it seems like a routine investigation for our bear detective. However, things take a terrifying turn when the bear becomes interested in the person recording the scene. The bear's curiosity and possible hunger are evident, but fortunately, it appears that humans are not on its menu, at least not today. Eventually, the bear departs, leaving us with the impression that this detective's quest didn't yield the results it was seeking. In this video, we can see two Starbucks baristas stationed behind the counter, with no customers in the store, indicating a slow business day. However, this peaceful scene is short-lived. Just as the baristas make their way to the back kitchen area of the Starbucks, an SUV abruptly smashes through the glass front doors, colliding with the counter and then crashing into the sidewall of the building. Fortunately, the baristas had impeccable timing and had moved to the back, avoiding the car's intrusion. The driver of the vehicle was a 37-year-old woman, also identified as the sheriff's deputy. She was allegedly driving under the influence of prescription drugs when she plowed into the store. The video suggests that no one inside the store was injured. Nevertheless, the store itself suffered extensive damage, with the front counter and the section of the store where the car entered left in ruins. The driver was subsequently arrested and charged with a DUI. Off camera, it was revealed that the woman's erratic driving had caused her to collide with 3 other individuals outside the Starbucks. Thankfully, none of them lost their lives, but they did sustain significant injuries. The video commences with the camera person capturing their friend lighting a cigarette, the reason for which remains uncertain. However, their attention swiftly shifts to a clown standing beneath the streetlight.
Got it?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, what the fuck?
What the fuck is that?
Nah.
Stop thing. Okay, I think we should dip, dog.
Their friends discuss the possibilities of leaving, but promptly reach a consensus to do so when the clown starts sprinting towards the vehicle.
Nah, you think that was fucking around?
Oh,
fuck! Hey, that fool's coming, Fool!
Fuck up, dog! Hurry the fuck up, fool!
No! Hurry the fuck up, dog!
Oh, shit! Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, shit!
They narrowly escape, catching a clear view of the clown as it runs alongside their vehicle. Robbie Phillips, a professional rock climber from Scotland, shares his daring rock climbing exploits on his eponymous YouTube channel. After viewing several of his videos, it's evident that he possesses great courage. Nevertheless, when confronted with the confining and cramped passages of a cave, even the most fearless individuals can be taken aback. Witness Robbie's initial foray into the Knott's Cave 2 caving system in the Yorkshire Dales, England. Robbie himself characterized this crawl as the most claustrophobic encounter he had ever had, although it hasn't entirely deterred him from attempting it once more. World War II hospitals can be quite unsettling. Just imagine exploring a place where no one departs alive, a hospital morgue. In July 2017, the YouTuber known as Exploring with Josh took his audience to an abandoned hospital in California. In the video, Josh encounters sharp scalpels, hospital chairs, and a plethora of scattered papers, gathering the impression that whoever worked here left in haste. But why did they abandon it? According to Josh, the hospital was shuttered because it failed to meet the new earthquake safety regulations. So instead of renovating the facility, they simply closed it down. Throughout the hospital, you can spot caution tape, although it's uncertain whether it was left by the police or some curious kids. The graffiti on the wall suggests that the place hasn't been entirely deserted and has become a popular spot for youths with idle time. However, a conspicuous red box labeled "Danger Biohazard" raises questions about the safety of exploring this facility. Josh and his crew venture into a vast room housing holiday decorations, then move to the pediatric center before deciding to investigate the morgue. Before reaching the morgue, they come across a room filled with abandoned hospital equipment, including beds, examination tables, lights, microscopes, and even supplies like syringes still in their original packaging. Upon reaching the morgue, they find a flatbed, sinks, and an array of autopsy tools. The room also contains stainless steel freezers lined along the walls, seemingly ready to receive new patients. In a somewhat eerie moment, Josh enters one of the freezers, accidentally brushing against the walls. His friend jokingly remarks, "Now you've got a dead body on you," highlighting the eerie nature of their exploration. Thankfully, Josh is not one of the patients in the freezer. When the engine of Air Asia Flight D7237 malfunctioned, Captain Abraham, the pilot, requested passengers to offer prayers.
Listen to the briefing. Our survival depends on your cooperating.
It was later discovered that a blade was missing from the A330's engine, causing it to shake uncomfortably as it traversed Western Australia. Captain Abraham's reassuring announcements helped maintain composure among the passengers. AirAsia CEO Tony Fernandez stated that the criticism stemming from this incident was primarily because AirAsia is a budget airline. The negative media attention seemed to be more focused on the pilot's request for passengers to pray rather than the engine malfunction. Many critics believe that openly admitting fear to passengers was not the most effective approach. It appears that the captain might benefit from a training course on how to reassure passengers. As one online critic aptly put it, encouraging them to pray is clearly not the most suitable idea. Now, let's talk about an astonishing incident where a man placed a baby inside a washing machine. This might have initially seemed like a playful game for the young father, but the situation took a serious turn when the washer's doors closed automatically and the spin cycle began with the 1-year-old trapped inside. The baby had been brought to the laundromat by her babysitter, who likely intended to multitask by taking care of the child while completing her chores. At the laundromat, the babysitter had a friend with her, and it was this friend who, perhaps playfully, lifted the baby and put her on the washing machine. Panic ensued as they realized the doors had closed and the machine had started. Fortunately, an alert laundromat employee intervened, promptly turning off the machine and rescuing the baby. Surprisingly, the babysitter chose not to disclose the incident to the baby's mother, who later discovered the story through the news.
"You can't tell me that ain't my..." I said, "That's my baby and that's her."
Imagine being in a mother's position. How would you react? The good news is that the adorable baby emerged unharmed from this thoughtless act by her caregivers. When you visit a Starbucks, your typical expectation is to enjoy your coffee, not to have your credit card information compromised. One Starbucks customer discovered unauthorized charges on her credit card and successfully traced them back to the individual responsible. To her astonishment, it turned out to be the Starbucks employee who had served her a drink the previous day. In the video, following the employee handing over the customer's order, the customer calmly informs the employee that she possesses video evidence of her using the customer's credit card to make a $212 purchase at Ralph's.
We got you on camera yesterday at Ralph's for $212. So just know that the cops are coming up here. They recorded your everything. You took a copy of my card the other day on New Year's Day. You know what you did.
The employee, a young woman, appears to be taken aback by this revelation. She offers an apology and the customer inquires how she cloned her card. The customer also questions whether the employee feels remorse for her actions and for taking money from her children.
What are you sorry about?
I'm sorry that I took money from you and your kids. I'm sorry that you had to come up here. I'm sorry that this is inconvenient for you.
The employee begins to express heartfelt apologies while the customer informs her that she intends to press charges. The employee explains that she's a good person trying to pursue an education, emphasizing that she's only 19 years old.
I'm sorry, I am a good child. I swear I'm really
You're a
good.
good child.
I really do go to school. I'm 19. I play soccer.
She pleads with the customer not to pursue legal action against her. However, despite the employee's pleas, the customer plans to file charges. Two siblings enter their rooms after being beckoned by a faint, unfamiliar voice. Inside their toy chest, they stumble upon a peculiar-looking doll that neither of them can recall placing there. The doll remains quiet until one of them reaches out to pick it up.
Really creepy.
At this point, they are uncertain about what to make of the toy. However, a noteworthy development occurs when they engage in conversation while still in the doll's presence.
Look at its little skinny legs. Yeah, wah, wah, wah.
That thing is like...
I know.
Disturbing.
It almost appears as if the doll responds to a remark about its legs by kicking twice and emitting a laugh. It's as if the toy is somehow aware of their conversation and is attempting to engage their thoughts. Now, the question arises, could this peculiar occurrence be the early indicator of a poltergeist presence within their home? On the precise date of August 3rd at 9:39 p.m., something highly unusual and deeply unsettling was captured by the home's CCTV cameras. A Reddit user known as I'm Just There for the New swiftly shares this footage with the online community. The video displays a visibly agitated dog, barking and pacing in front of the house, seemingly sensing that something is amiss. However, it's what unfolds next that truly captivated the internet's attention. The camera suddenly captures what appears to be a pair of dark, disembodied legs dashing past the scene. The already uneasy dog goes into full alert mode, barking even more fervently. A second CCTV camera, positioned from a different angle, also captures this eerie phenomenon. The fact that it's consistently recorded from two different perspectives adds an additional layer of intrigue, making this occurrence all the more perplexing and, for some, all the more credible. So what conclusions can we draw from this bewildering footage? Numerous theories have started pouring in from various sources. Some suggest it could be an elaborate hoax, or perhaps an optical illusion. Skeptics swiftly raise concerns about the video's authenticity, speculating about potential video manipulation and proposing that the legs might have belonged to a person partially obscured by darkness. On the contrary, others believe the footage might genuinely represent something paranormal, This perspective gains support from the dog's overtly anxious behavior preceding the appearance of the disembodied legs, as animals are often believed to be more sensitive to supernatural occurrences. However, at the moment, the footage remains an enigma, leaving viewers to form their own interpretations. This video is another testament to the incredible bravery of firefighters who are willing to take extreme risks to save lives. In this particular footage, firefighters respond to a well-established house fire. Upon their arrival, the house is severely consumed by flames, and the risk of it collapsing is exceedingly high. Nevertheless, despite the perilous circumstances, when they learn that someone is still trapped inside the blazing residence, they courageously enter. Fortunately, amidst the thick smoke, they successfully locate the victim and bring them to safety. Although the victim was unconscious, they emerged from the ordeal mostly unharmed. Had the firefighters not exhibited such bravery by entering the burning building, the fire would have tragically claimed the victim's life. This particular couple encountered peculiar occurrences within their residence, including objects shifting without explanation and whispers in the stillness of the night. Seeking to capture these phenomena as evidence, they followed the advice to install cameras. Here's what they captured. A book spontaneously shifts from a shelf. Followed by a rocking chair moving without anyone seated in it. Occasionally, lions may not exhibit the swiftness we expect from them. For most people, this poses a mild inconvenience at worst. However, in this particular instance, a man exits his vehicle and starts shouting to the heavens, seeking assistance. The video is humorously titled, "Guy on Drugs Screaming at McDonald's Drive-Thru." It's somewhat perplexing to discern the exact reason behind his outburst, followed by his abrupt return to his car. Whether it was a genuine cry for help or the results of a particularly challenging drug-induced experience remains uncertain. Regardless, if I were in the vehicle behind him, I would certainly reconsider whether my cravings for McDonald's was worth the wait and the spectacle.
This man is off it. What the is going on?
This aged dwelling harbors a resident ghost, and when the YouTube team Dark Mystic enters, an enigmatic sound reverberates. Once inside, a door autonomously closes.
Диман, ты видал, дверь закрылась?
As they initiate communication with the spirits, a Steadicam captures something unusual in another room. Could it be something trying to gain entry? It's unclear, but it's unmistakable that something is attempting to emerge from the wardrobe.
Кто вы такие?
Subsequently, they hear an object dropped in another room, and the Steadicam records this occurrence. Shortly afterwards, another object is hurled. And in my view, while the first may have accidentally fallen, this one was evidently thrown across the room. Alongside the wardrobe disturbance, the level of paranormal activity in this place is exceptionally high. Well, this woman unintentionally cursed her entire family with a jinx.
That's what happened on New Year's, was those fireworks were bad and it just exploded that whole time.
Someone should have advised her to use the knock on wood superstition right at that moment, because what you're about to witness is arguably the most obvious jinx ever. You may have come across this video circulating on social media. It gained such widespread attention that some people accused the Simply Safe doorbell company of orchestrating it as a marketing stunt. They responded to these allegations with a tweet refuting any such claims. Subsequently, individuals started pointing fingers at the family for sharing the video and complaining about its viral spread. However, they weren't the ones who initially uploaded it. They had sent the video to some neighbors as evidence in case the fireworks caused damage to their property and they needed it for insurance purposes. One of those neighbors then shared it with a friend, who passed it on to another, and eventually it went viral. The entire incident at the Alaska Children's Academy preschool was captured on CCTV cameras. In one small, one-on-one classroom, the camera captures the earthquake's impact, which resulted in items falling off the shelves. According to the staff, the CCTV cameras were attached to hooks explaining the pronounced shaking. Fortunately, the school remained closed on Fridays. In another area of the school, we witnessed the earthquake affecting the main learning space, with a nod to the chairs for not tumbling from the desks. Reports indicate that approximately 117 individuals sustained minor injuries, ranging from minor cuts and bruises to broken bones. While our preschool remains structurally sound, other schools near the earthquake's epicenter in Point McKenzie suffered extensive damage. All in all, the earthquake caused approximately $30 million in damages throughout the city. Imagine hearing this in the forest at night. The YouTube team known as Zona Paranormal Veracruz captured a disturbing entity on camera that bears resemblance to a banshee, but its true identity remains shrouded in mystery.
Una señora, güey. Escuchen. Hola. Mira. Arriba, güey. Bruja, ahí quiere volar, compa.
As the team approaches this enigmatic figure, clarity eludes them.
Hola. ¿Quién es? ¡Uy! ¡Hey! ¡Déjalo! ¡Déjalo! Vámonos, compa. ¿Quién es? ¡Déjalo! Cuidado, güey. Cuidado, a ver.
The entity appears to have harmed one of the crew members, and though it dances away into the night, its eerie presence continues to haunt them from a distance.
¿Dónde estás?
¿Cómo te llamas? Manifiéstate enfrente de mí en el nombre de Dios.
Uy. ¿Por qué te ríes?
Upon pursuing it, the entity becomes increasingly hostile.
Vámonos, compa. Allá, ese es un guardián. Vámonos.
Mira.
What is the motive behind its actions? What is most concerning is the unsettling and gleeful laughter it emits. Something feels distinctly amiss here. The emergence of another EF5 tornado in Moore, Oklahoma, the second in a span of 14 years, must have instilled both fear and fascination amongst its inhabitants. Among those captivated by this awe-inspiring natural event was Andrew Trent, who filmed the May 20, 2013 tornado as it ominously unfolded and steadily approached his workplace.
It's coming right for us! It's coming right for us, man! Hey, you better take cover! Come on over here! Where you at? Man, I'm coming right for us! Man, it might be too late for this. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Take a picture of it.
Oh, I've got the whole video of it. Oh, it's still way back there.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
As of September 2023, a decade later, no further EF5 rated tornadoes have been reported. However, this leads to the lingering question of how long Mother Nature will continue to restrain her forces. Two men were engaged in conversation outside an office building when they had a close call with a falling ice block that narrowly missed them. Both individuals acted wisely and moved away from the building, recognizing the potential danger of additional icicles falling. The video, when slowed down, reveals the substantial size of the ice block, which could be as large as half of a car windshield. Falling icicles should not be taken lightly, as although they are rarely sharp enough to penetrate the skin, they can still inflict bruises and cause bone fractures. If one were to strike a person's head, it could result in a severe concussion. According to the CDC, there are at least 1 million ice-related injuries in the United States each year, though it's uncertain how many of these are caused by falling icicles. Imagine, though, getting taken out by an icicle. An attempted robbery of a liquor store in Norco, California on July 30th takes an unexpected turn when he encounters an armed store owner. According to authorities, 4 masked individuals armed with long guns and concealed faces tried to rob the liquor store shortly before 3 a.m. Surveillance footage depicts one of the suspects entering and demanding that the owner raise his hands. At that moment, the owner brandishes his own rifle and opens fire. Footage from outside the store shows one of the suspects fleeing back to the waiting vehicle, exclaiming, "He shot my arm off!" Amid the chaos, the getaway driver starts to leave without one of their companions. The abandoned suspect quickly joins the vehicle, and they drive away. Subsequently, officials report that all 4 suspects were located at a hospital, with one of them displaying injuries consistent with a shotgun blast. It was revealed that the getaway vehicle, along with several weapons found inside, were stolen. The suspects were identified as Justin Johnson, 22 years old, Jamar Williams, 27 years old, and Devon Broaddus, 24 years old. The name of the wounded suspect was not released. Police took a man into custody on allegations of igniting a fire inside a gas station, causing the clerk to sustain first-degree burns. The Detroit Police Department released a video of the incident in the hopes of seeking help from the public in identifying the suspect. In the video, the individual appears to empty the contents of a trash can near the store's entrance. Following a verbal exchange with the individual behind the store counter, he departs the premises while using a blowtorch to start a fire. Authorities stated that the store clerk was subsequently hospitalized to receive medical treatment. A violent collision resulted in a Detroit fire engine crashing into a gas station. Initially, the fire truck was struck by an SUV, triggering a chain reaction that led to the fire engine plowing into the gas station. Astonishingly, no serious injuries were reported. This incredible incident occurred at the intersection of State Fair and DeQuanda on the east side. As depicted in the footage, the fire truck was headed directly towards our location. The collision with the Lincoln SUV resulted in the SUV hitting a utility pole, while the fire truck heavily damaged a work van, ignited a gas pump, and careened into the gas station. The gas station employees hurriedly evacuated, fearing a potential explosion. 3 firefighters and 3 civilians, including a young child, were transported to receive medical attention with minor injuries. The family was inside the Lincoln SUV. Interestingly, this incident bears a striking resemblance to a previous occurrence in the summer of 2019 at the same location, involving the same fire squad. Back then, the fire truck collided with the Citco sign, damaged gas pumps, and spun a TNT work truck, with 4 workers inside who were equally taken by surprise. In both incidents, 6 people were transported, including 3 firefighters and a family of 3. The gas station owner is now considering placing large boulders at the corner to prevent similar accidents, which seems like a prudent idea given the frequent incidents involving large vehicles. It is indeed fortunate that no one was seriously injured in this incident. Thanks for watching. Stay vigilant, friends.